Testing, testing. One, two, three. Okay. I can barely hear myself. Hello, hello. Oops. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Awesome. So I can hear myself. One second. Let's go. All right, guys. What's up, guys? So this is a very informal way of starting this stuff. So this should be fun. So, I can. So, okay. What is this for? So I know I've had like a fitness focused thing on my YouTube channel for a while now. So I'm trying to do something very different this time. So I have over 200 followers. So when you look at a YouTube scale, that is pretty much a drop in the bucket. But I feel like I should bring over something that I've been working on for a very long time, and that is something I'll be talking about today. So I've been having this idea. Okay, let me back forward for a second. There is a problem in modern job hunting whereby if you ever look for a job for a long time, there's one thing everybody tells you, which is, hey, make sure you edit your resume for every job you apply for. People say that. Even recruiters, if you're friends with recruiters, they'll tell you this. Hey, always, you know, fix your resume for every job you apply for, right? So, on the grand scheme of things, if you're employed and a company reaches out to you, or you just want to apply for just one job, you know, this is this is not a big deal. You can just go over, edit your resume, and boom, you can apply for that job. But it becomes a headache for three kinds of people: unemployed, people who are laid off, and undergrad who just people who just finished 4 years of college. What do I mean? When in these three categories of people, they're constantly applying for jobs. I'm talking 4 to 6, even sometimes 10 applications a day. So the problem with this is, imagine having a PDF version of your resume and converting it back to Google Docs or whatever document file you use. Look at the job description, edit it, save it back to PDF, and then apply for a job. That is a very um, terrible, non-effective way of doing things. So I was just thinking to myself, what if we have an idea? What if I have an idea of a resume building website where it stores it takes it uploads your resume through PDF. It takes in your resume, and then you can say, "Hey, you have my resume, right? Now this is the job description. I want you to tailor this job description to this resume using AI." And it does its magic on the back end, and boom, spits out a complete, comprehensive resume that ties to the job description you just fed it. So the good thing about that is when you have something like that, you can knock out job application like this. You know what I mean? So one, you're not tied to any sort of software. All you're doing is copy paste, tailor, copy paste, tailor, download resume, and apply. So it's going from doing something you're supposed to do in about, I don't know, 30 minutes and having it done in 5 minutes. And that includes uploading, applying, and uploading resume tailoring, and then applying for the job. So while I was thinking about that, I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to spend my time and start building this out from the ground up. I already had a friend talk through it with me, thankfully. Shout out to Kelvin if you're listening. But I think it's a good product to build. And if it doesn't work, who cares? I built something I'm really, really passionate about. So what I'm going to be doing is this is just not just commitment to myself, but also to just express this feeling of working on discipline and this sense of urgency in our society today. I have committed to myself that I'm going to build this out to fruition, and starting a live stream is not only creating awareness for what I'm trying to build, but at the same time, keeping myself accountable so I don't like slack off 3 days from now and give up. So me live streaming this, yes, I'm creating awareness, but at the same time, you know, putting myself accountable for what I'm trying to build, if that makes sense. So without further ado, in all fairness, I was actually building this for a long time now. And then what I was doing, I didn't like the version, if I was being honest with you. So I had a conversation with a friend of mine from church, and he gave me a very much more simple idea of how I'm supposed to build this, which is simply just offering the product first for free to the user, and then the user can see value from that and then decide to sign up for what I'm building. So you would think, oh, well, your friend just give you feedback, so maybe edit what you already have. Well, the good thing is I was like, you know what? I'm just going to, start all over again and build from the ground up. But the good news about that is now I know what I'm doing. I know the tools that I'm going to be needing to build this stuff out. Now, a caveat is I am not a web developer in any way, shape, or means. I mean, I have known my way around writing, doing web. I did a little bit Angular in my years with Java backend. But for the past 7 years of being a strict software engineer, I've only been an iOS engineer. Apple is my bread and butter. Any software that runs on Apple, I'm your guy. But I'm trying to build a website, not an app. So how can I do that? Now, I can go to the route of like teaching myself how to use Angular JS and, incorporating Firebase and all of those things. Then I said, screw it. This is where AI comes in. I can literally use Copilot, which is my preferred way of writing code, of AI assistant. I can use Copilot and build this stuff out to completion. So this is going to be a very boring video, but at the same time, it will be good for some people to see how the workflow of just taking out an idea and pouring it right out from, I don't know what I'm talking about, but you know what I mean? So I'm going to share some videos, some images of what I'm thinking. I built this image on ChatGPT, so forgive me because it looks shitty. That's the only way I could explain it. So I'm going to drag this stuff here. Oh, crap. No. Back. Oh, my God. This would be terrible. You know, one thing people are going to learn from this, at least non-technical people, is whenever you watch movies and they show you someone who writes code, and all they're always doing is like, hold on. Now, that's not gonna be what's gonna happen here. I'm gonna look more dumb, like I don't know what I'm doing, which is probably how it is most of the time, right? So back to what I'm saying. I just blabbed up for 5 seconds. So This is a much more better way. So here's what I'm building. This graph is not very um, doesn't really describe what I'm trying to do. So the structure of what I'm thinking about is the user uploads a resume through from the front end, which is what is built with AngularJS, and whenever we grab the resume, we're saving it on the cloud for our own use, using Google Document API to scan out the information we needed in the resume. And don't think about Stripe for now, but I'll talk about that later. Then using generative AI, so particularly OpenAI, I prefer OpenAI than Google Gemini to tailoring resume and then spill out a resume for the user. This graph is terrible. Maybe this one would do the best. So this is much more what I'm trying to do. We do this using ChatGPT and Firebase, and this ChatGPT 4. It doesn't matter what version I'm going to be using. For backend, I'm going to be using Cloud Functions for now to make it a lot faster for myself so I don't confuse myself. Now, what I'm thinking is the workflow is going to be user goes to the website and we're telling the user, hey, look at this cool stuff we can do. You want to try it? You think we're joking? Here you go. Put in your resume and see what happens. So the user, before even start asking them from all kinds of ridiculous information, they put in their resume, upload it. Once we grab their resume and say, hey, go get a job description and copy and paste it and see how you like that. So they copy and paste the job description and we do our magic in the back end and then generate a tailored version of the resume that ties them to that description they just built. So we can only let them do this for for a few times, right? But once they do that, at some point, we're gonna have to start charging subscription. So we're trying. I keep saying we, but it's just me. But I'm trying to create value by offering you some portion of what I'm building for free, and then if you see value in it, you can then go, oh, cool, I'm gonna pay for this stuff. So here's where Stripe comes in. Stripe is the system I'm gonna be using for subscriptions, if that makes sense. So by the time the user can use this, I don't know, 5 times and generate resumes, and then we can go, hey dude, what's up? Get us paid. So by that point, the user's already, seeing the value in what we're building. Now, I'm gonna close this out. Now, I am building this from scratch, and the only thing I've done is basically create a front end and a back end repository, and I uploaded that to GitHub. So basically what this means for anyone who's not that technical is I have built the foundational files for this and I just uploaded it online. Let's call it for safekeep for now so I don't bore you with the details. So this is where AI comes in. So before we do anything else, I'm going to go into this place called issues because I'm much more of a visual learner and I want to create issues. I don't know why it's called issues, but much more of like task of like, hey, this is what I'm going to build. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. So I can have like a bigger picture of what we're going to be doing. So, all right, let's go. If I'm being honest, this Zoom has been going from 2 people to one person. I was not expecting anyone to watch this, but I'm really appreciative of people watching anyways. So what I'm gonna do is first test is, let's say, create landing page. Okay, this landing page should be catchy. Good thing is I don't have any Scrum Master telling me how to write stuff, so just my stuff. Ish have a title and message. Telling the user what we are building. Oh crap. I told you this is gonna be messy. Should then an upload resume button. And text field for the job description. I'm gonna call it JD. I know what that is. Now, okay, I wrote text field here, but this might be overly too much information. But text field is much more of a iOS description of what we call a text. So this right here is a text field. I don't think they call that the same thing in Android, in Angular web development. I think it's called forms, but I don't know. I don't know. Remember, we're all learning here. At the end of the day, let me drink some water. Okay, so I'm gonna save this. You know what? I actually have a note. I'm gonna carry you guys along. So if I go to ChatGPT, I wrote this actually a long time ago. So OpenAI resume. Okay. I told ChatGPT to make me a list of issues. Let's see. No, that's not it. Oh, there you go. Okay. I'm gonna do this so I can create more. Blah, blah, blah. I already have that. So let's go back to our issues. Let's change this a bit. Okay. No. That's not a comment. Okay. Okay. This is what we're doing. I'm just going to add this here to be much more. Okay. I'm going to create a new issue. We already have that. Design. Create UI for the tailored resume. Okay. I'm going to have this. I'm going to create a new issue. So HTTP interaction. So I'm gonna have this here. Some of these tags are very, very. I don't see myself doing it one. Some of them should just come as a chunk here. You know what? Now that I think about it, this live stream actually makes sense. You know what I just realized? I was talking to myself thinking, oh, I have two people watching me. Now I have one person watching me. One person watching me is me. Because I'm watching this on my iPad while I am doing this, which is very interesting. So okay. Add logic to prompt user. Add logic to prompt user for sign up. Okay. Remember when we talked about the user can generate. We want to offer them the product for free at first, and then the user can generate. We can put like a roadblock, and the user can stop I need to add an X amount of time the user can use the product for free, and then go from the, and then decide if we're going to start charging them. So figure out how to do this without charging them, without making the user sign up. I looked it up. There's some ways to do this, but there are easier ways to get around it. But honestly, that wouldn't really be my issue at this moment. So, okay, implement a subscription. This is gonna be way down the line, but but okay. Okay, I have enough stuff right now of what I'm going to be working with. So we are going to move over to the cloud side of things. So I already have my project, so I'm going to go ahead and open it so you guys can see what it looks like. Now, this is what it looks like. Crap. That doesn't even make any sense. Okay. Something is off, so I'm gonna look in to see what that is. For some reason, this is not seeing my repo for some reason, so I'm gonna figure out why that is. Okay. Oh my god. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Um. Very interesting. Okay. So this folder is supposed to be filled with stuff, but for some reason it is not. So I'm going to do that again. So this is a pain in the butt, but whatever. I'm gonna trash this. Let me see what repo I'm on right now. I'm on dev, awesome. So I'm gonna create another project. Hopefully I have some of this saved. Come on, I really don't want to look this up. npm serve open. I don't think this is it. Yep, that's not it. Okay. Okay, ChatGPT, make it simple for us. How to okay, what am I doing? How to create project. Okay. Okay, I already have that. Okay. So I need to find what I named it. I don't know why that happened. So nope. Nope. There you go. So these files were initially missing. I don't know what happened, but so what I simply just did. This is we're not supposed to be talking about this, but essentially what I just did is so this is gonna be. I haven't named my project yet. I don't know what it's gonna be. So this is what it's gonna look like. If you open this file, you should see two things. You should see the front end, which is the website what the user is gonna see, and this is a functions. This is the back end. This is gonna live. This is gonna be where I have all the things that I'm gonna use to build the server side of things, which is what is called cloud functions in this case. So now, great, I have this. So if we go back to our issues, the first thing we should honestly tackle is the landing page. So now, when it comes to the landing page, I have an idea. I've had this saved for a long time. I want it to look something similar, but without the picture. So we have the resume tailor here. We have I'm going to take this stuff out because I don't need it. We should have get started here and here. So if I take this, no, if I copy, Christ almighty, if I copy this and put it here, yes. Ooh, I don't. Okay. So it writes in all the words and everything, and I can actually just copy this stuff and put it here. Oops. Awesome. I didn't know I could do this. So I'm just doing this so I don't confuse the heck out of ChatGPT. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to send this image to OpenAI, not OpenAI, Cloud Copilot, and say, hey, I'm building a landing page that looks like this, but I want you to add these components for me. And then we can go from there, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm thinking. That should solve the problem. So I'm going to put this on the side for now. Now here's the magic of AI. I know I just say we're going to be building this through. I'm going to be using Copilot. There's other softwares you can use, honestly, but at this point, Copilot is what I paid for, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to change this to from asks to agent. Agents is actually the one that actually changes the code base and puts in all the code and everything for you. So now I'm going to open the bottom page, and I'm going to go to terminal. Inside of terminal, I'm going to cd to the front end. So I'm gonna have to multiple things here. So I'm gonna spend time at least today build out the back end, sorry, the front end Angular side of things because we want to tell the AIs, hey, this is what we want it to look like. Take this image right here, and give us something similar. But I don't think we have the landing page for that right now. But I know. Let's see. So the first I'm gonna do is create a home page. But the way you do it on Angular, if I remember correctly, you're simply creating what is it called? A component. So every page is its own component. So I'm gonna add ChatGPT. How do we create a component in Angular? What is the command? Okay. Let's see. I know this, but I don't. Oh, yeah. So this is the command pretty much. Okay, good. So what should we name this? Okay. I'm gonna name this component dot landing page. So I'm gonna name it. So I'm gonna copy this stuff, move this aside, and come here, copy and paste. Just look at this on the left here. You're gonna see we're gonna create a what do you call it? A new folder called component landing page. I click enter, and don't make me look bad. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh. So we're gonna have a component landing page, and we're gonna have. Let me draw this in my head. So the landing page is gonna have all this information we just created, and it should have. It's gonna have the upload button and everything, and at the same time, it's gonna have. So upload file function. Now I'm confused. I don't know if I should, put this at the same place. The upload button and the job description side. I think it should be in the same place. Okay. I'm thinking about it. So what we can do is, or what I keep saying we, but what I can do is, because I know website. I don't know what the web people call it, but you can have this function whereby it. The first setup is the get started, and then you can click the text field to upload the what do you call it, the file for the job the PDF for the resume. And then once we download the resume, it it slides all the way down to the text field for the job description. So once we get that, we create a new component of a finished product. So, but here's what I don't want to do though. I don't want to just have. Now that I think about it, where is it? Okay, source app. Okay. So I'm gonna do another thing. So I'm gonna name this. I saw someone do this one time, so I'm gonna do the same thing. Just have everything in all the component in one folder. I don't know if that helps, but you know what? That doesn't help. That does not help. No. Plus, I can always do this later on. So let's focus more on the landing page for now. Let me focus more on the landing page for now. So we're gonna use AI up on AI. So on the on the right hand side here, it already has my, you know, my image clipped, my current file clipped. But I'm gonna go ahead now and add more files for context. So at this point, I'm gonna add component. We have component HTML. I'm gonna add component CSS, and I know this one is for test. We don't need this. We need this one. So I'm also gonna add components for TC. TC means TypeScript. So for the front end, the code is gonna be written on TypeScript. So okay, now so here's the fun part. So I'm gonna close this stuff. I'm gonna drag this into the into the text fields for Copilot. So here's what I can do. I can sit down here giving it context, right? Or I can go to ChatGPT, and now I'm gonna say this. Let me go back to yes. Be like, we are building. I am starting from the landing page. You know what? I can even drag this to ChatGPT. What's going on? Anyways. Okay. I'm setting for on the landing page where the user gets welcomed and given a brief history of what we are about, and then a get started button. When they click, it goes to a button that asks them to upload resume, and once, oh my god, the spelling is bad. We scroll down a bit more in the page for show them a text field to paste the job description. You know what I just thought about right now? So the landing page would be the selling point, right? Where once the user gets to a point, this will be later on the line, but once the user gets to the point where the user can, get on the app and what am I trying to say? Once the user can get on the app and and become an actual member, we have to show them something else, because at that point it's much more complex. At this point, we just want to make it simple and easy enough for the user to do it. The good thing about this is we can use these functions that we just created and use it on the main page, if that makes sense. So for the landing page, we're going to have this. Now, so here's a fun part. So I've just typed in what I wanted to use, what I want to do, So I'm gonna tell now AI, now Copilot does not know what we are building. Use this info to create a prompt to give Copilot to perform this task. Okay, let's see what it comes up with. I don't know if I should feed it this. I don't know if I should feed it this. I'll see what it comes up with. I kind of like this, honestly. Oops. I kind of like this, honestly. Let's see. No. Let's see what it comes up with. Let's see what it comes up with. So I'm gonna okay. Oh my God. Okay, now I have this. I'm gonna copy the stuff here. And now I'm gonna say use the image as inspiration. This is for the front end only and not the only for now. So I'm gonna click enter and see what it comes up with. Do you guys see that? So I basically just fed it all of this, and it is constantly generating files. If you notice, it's first of all starting off with HTML, which kind of makes sense, and it's gonna go from the HTML and bit to the CSS and the rest of them. So let's see. It's usually longer than this, but let's see how long it takes. Okay, now it's taking much way longer than necessary. Okay, Copilot, don't make me look bad. Do not make me look bad. Because if you can do this, we're screwed. I am screwed. So I have to hard code all of this myself. So, yeah. By the way, I'm actually streaming this on Twitch as well, but let's see how that goes. Come on. It is taking a lot longer than expected, but you know what? I guess this is the first code, so it's building everything from scratch, and also, what else am I was just trying to say? Maybe spending time analyzing the image here. I'm just making up excuses for the chat GPT at this point, but it's usually not this slow. But you better be coming up with some killer UI stuff. Okay, yeah, that's definitely off. So what I'm gonna do is 1 second. Let me do something here. So usually OpenAI is not this. Sorry, Copilot is not this slow. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pause it. I'm gonna stop it and run this prompt again. I'm gonna run this again. Let's see if this fixes the problem. Okay, come on, come on, come on. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Okay. It is. Are we doing anything for HTML? Okay. Okay, starting with the TS first is going here first. Ooh, okay. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. So what about CSS? What about CSS? Yes, there you go. Whoo! That's what we're looking for. So this is what we're expecting. I maybe it has some kind of hookup at first. So basically, essentially, let me go back and show you guys what I just did. So basically, what I just did was, because I'm lazy, I went over to ChatGPT, put in everything I'm trying to make happen, which is what I did here. ChatGPT kind of already knows what I've been trying to do because we've been talking, and it summed everything up and gave it to this. So what I simply did was just copy this, which is a much more detailed prompt that I could ever do, to Copilot. So Copilot takes everything, summarizes it to this point, and then what it does is make this code changes. So I'm gonna go ahead and click keep. I can go here and click tab click keep here, but it's gonna have to physically go to every single page and tap those things. So I'm gonna click keep here on the right hand side, which saves everything, which is what we're looking for. So let's go see everything that was created. Okay, this is the CS style page, and this is the landing page, and this is the TypeScript. This is where all the logic, most of the logic is going to live in. So this TypeScript function is what it's going to be calling our backend, which is the cloud function part. So now here's what I'm going to do. I am going to ask ChatGPT, because I don't remember the syntax of all of this, and so don't make me look bad. So how do we run our Angular web locally? I know there's a function for this. There's a command for this. I don't remember. We already did all of those things. And then install. Do we have to do install? I don't think so. Let's just do serve. I think serve should be fine. There you go. And okay. Now the question is, what is the... Ooh, there's an error. I don't know what this is. So this is an error that generated from our code. Okay, this is an error that generated from our code. So I'm gonna copy it and post it in Copilot. I can usually spend time debugging this, but I don't have time. So fix this. So he wrote the code, so he should figure out what the problem is. But here's what I do. So you really don't want to just copy and post everything. So so whenever I see an error like this, so what I do is like, sure, I copy and post it, but I actually listen to what, because Copilot will tell, hey, I know what the problem is. You did this. You're not actually supposed to do this, you know. And I can say, okay, that makes sense, you know. So now in my head I can remember, okay, I know this makes sense. When this happens again, I know what to do. So look at this link. Oh crap! I just realized none of you can see my. I'm gonna move my camera to the top here. Maybe make it a little bit smaller. So sorry about that. So I have this thing here. So I'm going to have to go over to this link here. And while I have that link, I'm just going to push this back just the way it was again, make myself bigger. Okay. If I go to this place and I type this, no, that's not what we see. This is the generic Angular homepage whenever you create a project. This is not what we want to see. So I'm gonna go ask ChatGPT. I know for a fact, I don't know this for you, but I know this for a fact that it is calling a different page, which we have to change somewhere. So hey yo, we is showing the default component not the one we just created. Can you change that? I know it's a routing issue. It's not necessarily an issue. We simply created this right here, and we never bothered to say, hey, well, that's not what I asked you to do. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so let me show you why I'm saying interesting. Look at this. So, oh my God, I hate when this happens. Okay, let's try this again. So it basically created what we're looking for, which is what's in the bottom here. But if you notice on the top, it is still showing the old Angular stuff. So I'm gonna tell ChatGPT to. I can do this myself, but the whole point of this is to show you how you can effectively go significantly fast by asking ChatGPT to do this for you, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna simply say, hey, can you get rid of the default Angular landing page? It is still showing above it. So now, do I really want to look? So what I will do now, I'll listen and see what it does and see what file it changes. So I know, okay, this is actually how I should remove this. So is reading, not doing anything for now. Okay, good. Here you go. It took it out. So this is what it looks like. So if I click get started, oh, okay. Now, did you see what it just happened there? So let me refresh this, see this. If I click get started, it shows you this option, right? If I do this option and put in my resume, boom, look at that. I like this. I like this. Let me do, okay, hold on. Let me do this again. I'm gonna try to. Okay. So let's refresh. So remember, this is gonna be the landing page, and first the user once I don't want to step. This is thanks to my good friend Kelvin. He knocked my sense into this. When you first log, if I show you the view of what I was building before, you used to have to like sign up, log in, set up a username and password, and then spend there manually typing in a resume, and then voila, it shows them this. Now, with this point, when you come to the website, obviously I'm going to build this out more and put in more words and more images. But for now, this works. So whenever you read through all of this and you just click get started, and when you click get started, you upload your resume. There's my resume. Once this loads, and boom, the next thing you have to do is to go grab a job description, type it, and click submit. It loads this, then we can do, yeah, this is it. So this is the first iteration. Now, I did not write a single line of code in this. So let me refresh it and show you again. So let me refresh. So remember, I wrote no single line of code doing this. Essentially what I did was I went to ChatGPT and says, hey, this is what we're trying to do. Build me a landing page to do this. And this is the transition of what I want my landing page to look like. And I put the prompt on Cloud AI, Copilot, and did all of this. Now, this is all I did physically was to create this file. I created this file. It's writing all these functions on HTML. CSS is where you have the styling of it, and then the landing page is where the I think is, again, correct me if I'm wrong, for my web guys out there, this is actually what controls the logic of how when you click something, this happens. When you click that happens. So, and then we run it again. After doing all of this explanations up here, ChatGPT simply just changed all those files. So now, when the user goes into the web, hopefully for what we're trying to build, they click get started. We're gonna sell them more into it, but once the user clicks get started, they upload your resume, like I'm doing here. Click open. We have this cool animation, and then voila, we have a text message. So we were able to build this. This would have taken me from like a mobile engineer that is coming into this as an iOS engineer. This would probably take me 2 hours to do. I was able to do it in 20 minutes or less because I had to even making out the prompt to actually give it this. I didn't even do it myself. You can see how cool that is. So now this is where I'm gonna stop for today. I'm gonna stop today because this is my first time trying this. This is gonna be a multi-series of lessons I'm trying to do, which is I'm gonna build this out where it's gonna be every day. This is basically gonna be part one of a multi-long series. I'm gonna give myself a time slot to make this available. And this is not just some lesson thing I'm trying to build. This is gonna be something I'm gonna release and sell into the market. But I believe this is something that is much more needed in job application today, and I think this is something anybody can use. In fact, I would use it myself because I'm currently in the job hunt right now. I'll use it myself to see if I can get a job with it. But I think this is something that was going to create a lot of value to a lot of people in this job market. Before I let you guys go, so when I was on the fence about building this, there's something that I saw that actually encouraged me to go, hey, Anthony, I think you have something here. So, let me do this. I saw this photo on my Instagram page and I had to screenshot it because I was like, I need to have this as a reminder for myself. Okay. Where is it? On graph. Yes. So I was kind of in the fence about doing this, until I saw this. So I followed the Wall Street Journal and they posted this on their page. So this is how fertility rate. No, wrong thing. Oh my God, no, guys, sorry. That is not what I'm looking for. Yes, this is what I'm looking for, not fertility rate. This is embarrassing. Okay, I saw this a few days ago on my Instagram page. I followed the Wall Street Journal. This is how bad the job market is today. Where you have people looking for jobs, not just people who are laid off due to AI, but also people who are constantly graduating from school and they cannot land a job. We live in a very unprecedented era. And the interesting thing about this and what is giving me the mindset of giving me the courage of building this, these companies, whenever you apply for a job, especially the big tech companies or even a lot of companies with a lot of softwares for screening through people, which already have AI embedded in them and already doing this, they are using AI to scan through resumes. Right? So if they're using AI to scan through resumes, why can't you do the same thing? That's what I'm thinking, because if you can use, obviously you're not lying, but you're basically using the system, the product to tailor your resume. And if we have this to contend with right now, I think this is going to be a good product opportunity that I'm building. So I'm blabbing off. So essentially, like I said, this is going to be a multi-long series. This is going to be part one of it, of what I'm building, and we're going to go from there, if that makes sense. So it's been fun having you guys, the two guys that was been watching this stuff. I really, really appreciate it. Whoever you are, I know one of my friends watched it, but whoever you are and you're watching this stuff, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, because not everyone tunes into YouTube or Twitch and watch some guy randomly coding. But I believe over time, this is going to gain traction and people are going to see it see it for what it is. And yeah. And with that all said, oh my god, it's 9 p.m. 9:30. It's past my bedtime. I should be sleeping now. So I'm gonna talk to you guys later on. Peace. Bye bye. How do you turn this off?